All right, we're recording, right, Gary? Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. Today, we need you to make sure that your seat back is in the upright position, your seatbelt is securely fastened, and you have a barf bag in the seat back in front of you. Today, we have some vents about airline travel. I'm Chuck. Chrissy's my co-pilot. And Paul Roseberry is dressed up as a flight attendant today. And we're here to respond to your vents. Now, if you don't know Paul, he's a comedian. He's a confidence and relationship coach. And you may have seen him or heard him or could care less about him. But we're thrilled to have him here with us again today. So, Paul Roseberry, welcome.
Welcome, Paul.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Excited to be a part of some vents.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time here. Yeah, these should be interesting. I mean, we've all flown on airlines and we know the problems so we've got some vents here and we'll try to clear things up or just blur them even more. But go ahead.
I was just going to say, before we start the show, I have a vent myself. It's a brief vent. So I'm golfing with my husband.
I'm not wearing briefs.
Oh, God. Somebody turned the video off.
But it's important to have a brief vent if you wear them.
Okay,
well,
then.
It makes it easier to vent if you're not wearing briefs.
Exactly. Oh, that's true, too.
How would you know, Paul?
He's not wearing them.
Oh, God.
The camera is waist up, Chris.
Okay, let us continue.
All right, go ahead.
So we're playing golf, and all of a sudden somebody says 4. Here's the problem I have with that. Unless you know what hole they're on, you have no idea where that ball's coming from. So what are you supposed to do, duck? There's no desk like they say when there's an earthquake to go under. You're just standing there wondering, looking up. So if the ball hits you in the head, it's because you're trying to find it. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And I know it's been around for 100 years. The Scottish, I think, started the whole shebang with 4. But I think the solution to that is, or ventolution, would be to say, 4, hole 10. So now if you're in hole 15, you know it's not going to hit you. Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest because it was bugging me.
Where did this 4 come from anyway? What does 4 mean? I mean, why is it
a Scottish
3,
term?
2?
It's in the foreground, I think. Like look ahead. That would be my guess.
I can tell you exactly what it means.
Okay.
I'm going to read this because I looked it up. The term
I didn't even know you could
4
read.
Oh, Chuck's on a roll. So the term 4 is a traditional and widely recognized warning in the sport of golf. It is used to alert other players or spectators when an errant golf shot is heading in their direction, posing a potential danger. That's the problem. You don't know where it's coming from. So I think somebody should
Maybe it means look in all 4 directions. That's what it means.
Okay.
Can we establish, is it FORE or FOUR?
Yes. FORE, 4.
Okay,
and it's a Scottish term that originated, I guess in the 1800s.
Well, it could be short for forehead because that's really the place you hope the ball doesn't hit the most.
Right.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Or a good chance that's where you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
well, all right. Well, that was my vent. Now we can get started. Sorry.
That's a thought-provoking vent. I'm going to chew on that.
I'm here all week. Well, maybe just for today.
My gosh. And I thought these were airline vents. Somebody must have really hit the ball far.
They will.
Probably the least likely to get hit by a golf ball.
All right.
While on an airplane. I think
that's true.
I think we should be safe for this episode.
Could be a bird, but okay.
Yeah. All right. Oh, so Paul, could you get Chrissy and me a cool beverage since you're the flight attendant here, and then we can get this thing started?
Coffee, tea, or me, sir?
All right. So about an hour ago, I took a Ventagra, so I think I should really be up for the show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Ventagra.
Today's sponsor? Will we be selling that?
We're brought to you by Ventagra. All right. So, Chrissy, I guess you're reading them, right? Today?
I'm going to read this one.
All right. Well, go for it, girl.
Okay. So this was signed by a person that says Armrests and PDA on airplanes. Okay, here we go. I have a beef with the airlines. When I took my window seat in economy class, I assumed the armrest was mine That's fair, right?
Did you
Well,
say
the-
the armrest? The
I know,
armrest?
armrest. Sorry.
Yes, all right. They have armrests.
Okay. So, well, I'm going to continue. Well, the couple who sat in the middle and the aisle seat had other plans. After takeoff, the girl lifts the other armrest. She bends her knees so her legs are now on her boyfriend's lap. Her head is now on my armrest. Okay, so it gets worse. She pulls her boyfriend down to so he's practically on top of her, and they kiss. Well, that didn't last very long, but her head was still on my armrest. I'm trying to get comfortable, and her Rapunzel hair is on my side. And every so often, he leans down to kiss her, and now I'm staring at two heads practically on my side. I don't want to be a jerk, but I paid good money for my seat. What would you guys do? And this can't be the first time you heard of this. And this is signed, like I said, by Armrests and PDA airplanes on airplanes. Say armrest 3 times. Okay, I'm done.
Armrest 3 times.
Yeah, okay, cute, Chuck.
I get that. I'm just following orders. All right. Well, I mean, you know what? They've got their seats, and they obviously. You said they had the window and the middle.
No, the
seat,
guy
right?
had the window seat
Yes.
apparently,
Yeah,
Right, and
then
she
there-
had the middle.
and she had the middle. Her boyfriend had the aisle.
Right. So he owns the window. He can pull the shade down, and then she's got the middle. And as far as the hair, and stuff like that. I mean, the hair that's bullshit. If your hair is coming over into my lap, I don't want to know about it. But whatever they're doing over there, I don't care. And if they don't mind me watching, I'll watch.
I know, but the whole point is he's pissed off because her head is
Yeah.
practically in his
Yeah.
lap.
Look,
Come on.
Well, that's no good. Yeah, that's no
Well,
good.
that's the point.
Yeah.
You know what I would
Yeah.
have done? I'll let you talk about. I would take if they allowed scissors on the plane. I would cut that hair off.
Oh my God.
That's
Chris?
right.
It crossed my mind, and it's about as aggressive. But you know what? I would say, I think you might be justified only within the amount that hangs over into your seat. We're not being
Yep.
savages. We're not going for punitive damages. I
Yep.
just need the part, and maybe you come away with a wedge. Maybe you come away with a Spice Girl, O2 haircut. But and then that's it. And maybe even I'm a fan of like the warning scissor sound.
Yeah. Oh, good one.
Just a little warning shot, and then
Yeah.
she goes, and you
Oh
go,
yeah.
hey, problem solved.
Yeah.
That thing you
Yeah.
did when you freaked out, hold that until
Well,
we land.
I mean, if her head's going to be, in my lap, if I'm the person over there on that third seat, I mean, now if there's a bonus involved in there, then you can overlook the hair being in your lap.
Oh, Chuck took it to another level.
Another level. I always
Why?
got to go to another
Why?
level
Hey,
because
you know what,
that's how I am.
Chuck? I'll give you this. Boyfriend sounds like such a pushover. You might, you
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. 3-way on the plane. Maybe that's why they have 3 seats across,
mile and a half club.
So yeah,
Oh no.
So and then while we're on the thing of seats and taking up space and everything like that, it's like I think they need to charge extra to big fat people. Okay, I mean this is ridiculous. I was on a cross country flight once with a giant guy next to me, like 350, 400 pounds. He was sitting right next to me, and his fat was like a lava flow running over the armrest into my seat.
Yeah.
And it's like it was very uncomfortable. And it was a DC-10, and I was in the middle section with 5 seats across, and I'm leaned in the aisle, like off to the side for the whole flight. And the flight attendants felt bad for me. It was a full flight. They apologized. They just gave me free drinks and all that stuff and said, we're really sorry,
But I think, Chuck, did he take up 2 seats?
Well, he took up 3 seats. I mean, he was flowing into the seat on both sides. Like I said, it was like a lava flow,
I thought if he took up 2, he had to pay for that other seat, I think.
Well, I mean, this was back probably 20 years ago or so.
Oh.
Maybe they didn't have that rule then,
Gotcha.
I think they're very afraid to broach the topics now. You know what? If we're being honest, all right, if we're being totally honest,
We're always honest here.
let's go this far. I think if we're saying certain passengers shouldn't be able to occupy more seat space than 1 seat, I think some of these flight attendants may be a little large for the aisle.
Yeah. No, yes.
Is that wrong of me to say?
Yes.
'Cause
Yes.
I always fly aisle. I always take the
Me
aisle
too.
in advance, and I will be well within the confines of my armrest. I'm aware of space, and
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
get bumped into my seat. I'm not leaning into the aisle. I get bumped in. And the first thing that comes to my mind as a passenger is, if I want to bring my carry-on on the flight, there's a very specific cubicle confine that my bag has to fit in. And
Right.
if it doesn't fit in that, it's not a carry-on. And I'm just saying, maybe if we had one of those for the flight attendants,
Yes. 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 Jump in there, Joey, and let's see if you fit. You know.
just
Oh
walk through
God.
this little cubicle
Yeah.
space, just like the one that this passenger's bag did. And if you
Yeah.
don't fit,
Right.
well,
Yes. Then
Well,
we must acquit.
uh,
sir,
well, I, my note to that is, gentlemen, I'm just grateful that they don't pick supermodels anymore to be airline attendants, that they've opened up that entire, you know, venue for other people besides bone thin, stewardesses and flight attendants. If you do a good job, you got the job.
Well, yeah, but some of
very
these people
nice.
don't do a good job,
Okay.
and I don't know that it's right that we've opened it up. I mean, all we're doing is being nice to everyone so that we can't be unkind to anyone. And I mean, I wanted to be I used to work for the airlines loading planes, and I
Jesus,
tried
you've
to get
done
a
everything.
job. I tried to get a job as a flight attendant because I thought travel the world. This
Sure.
would be great. Well, I was 6'2". You couldn't be over 5'11" back then.
Are you
Okay.
serious?
Yeah, this was like in the 70s. I was going to college and all that stuff. So it was in the 70s. Okay. Yeah. And you couldn't be over 5'11". It's like now we got people 400 pounds, 6 feet tall, ugly as hell. You lose your appetite. Of course, now you don't have to worry about an appetite because the airline doesn't feed you anymore. So I mean, the world has just changed. And I also, Paul, love sitting on the aisle because I enjoy getting hit with every other bag as the people are getting
Oh
in
my
the
God.
Every one
plane.
of them. It
And
makes you feel
nobody
alive.
says, "Oh, sorry." You just get bang, bang. So nobody gives a shit.
It's, but the reason also that I always take the aisle is exactly for where this vent is coming from. You have no say in anything. You have the least, it's the worst real estate on the plane.
Yes.
When you're a kid and you first start flying, you're like, oh, window seat. I can see the world from this height. It's a new purview. I've never had this.
Mm-hmm.
Almost immediately, that's literally out the window.
Right.
Because you have to ask permission of two strangers if you can use the bathroom. Now they have cords and wires and headphones, and it's
Yeah.
absolute hell.
Yep.
I like to be right at the exit. You know what I mean? I like
Yeah.
to, well, and actually an exit row is the best, but yeah, I like to have.
Except if the door flies off.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, yeah. There you go. The exit. Yeah, the exit aisle and the door flying off. But yeah, I
Well-
don't know. I mean, I had even asked the flight attendant if they could just, tie that fat guy to the wing or something.
Oh,
But
God.
they kind of looked at me
Well,
funny.
you gotta tie two other regulars to the other wing, because otherwise you're only going to fly to Canada.
Oh, that's right. You'll be flying in a circle.
Guess what? We're never going to get sponsored by an airline. So
I think not.
Oh, yeah,
that's
no, that's
Hey.
it's the way it is.
Can I offer like a genuine passive,
yeah.
semi-passive
Go for it,
solution
Paul.
to our venter? What if, because I mean, I like what you're saying about cutting the hair, but then it's war. Then, you got an absolute war.
Yeah.
I think casually and within the confines of your part of the armrest, rest your arm on her face.
Why not?
Why not? Only the part that comes over into your seat.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Rest your arm on her head.
You're in my area. It's just like trimming your neighbor's tree that's growing over the fence. I can
Thank
trim looking straight up whatever's over my
Yes.
fence line.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can use that part of her face. You put your
And-
coffee cup there.
Okay. Did the bell go off
Your
for the next
iPad.
vent?
No, but we're having too much fun anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I think
Okay.
we give a solution. No, because if any of these things is going to result in that person being, oh, you know what? This is less comfortable than I hoped it would be. I thought I could lay in bed like I was at home, but now
Mhm.
I've got an elbow in my eye socket, or a haircut I didn't anticipate,
Right.
and maybe I'll just sit up like an adult.
Yeah, just encroaching your area. But at least she's not one of these people that are putting her feet on the food table and that kind of stuff.
All right, let's move on to the next one because obviously you guys have vent up, get it? Vent up airline vents. I didn't say pent up. I said vent up. Did you get that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Chris?
Oh, jeez. All right, let me move on to the next one. This one is signed. Do not lean in a narrow aisle. Okay, so here we go. Hello, fellow venters. Let me vent about an experience I had on a flight from Dallas to Nebraska. Okay. Why would you go to Nebraska? Anyway, I don't know
You
what
like
women
corn.
eat. Oh, okay. I don't know what women eat in Nebraska, but 5 of them boarded the plane and had the biggest chests I've ever seen. Gosh. I know the women who listen to this podcast will get their trolls ready to pounce on me, but I only bring this up because when they bent over to get into their seats, all their goodly wonders fell out. Okay.
Sounds
Why
great.
would you?
Yeah, really. And then the flight attendant comes around and charges you more for the view.
Okay.
Fine.
Let me finish. Why would you wear a top like that when you know there'll be a problem? Trust me, I'm not complaining about the view. It was nice. But when the other guys on the plane noticed they were staring and one of them barked at him, women baffle me. Maybe that's why I'm single. And it's signed, do not lean, like I said, in a narrow aisle. You know what?
You're on the aisle seat. You own the aisle, and you can lean. It's extra real estate. It's a bonus. Just like when you book a window seat, you control the shade. Okay, if you want it up or you want it down, not the other people. If you want to be
What's that got
polite,
to do
you
with?
could.
But Chuck,
Well, I'm just saying control. It's like you should, they book the aisle, hang them out in the aisle.
Chris's reaction right now is amazing. And on my screen, you're above Chuck. So you're like looking down with the expression you have, like, what the hell?
yeah, like I mean, here's the
that's
thing.
Chris's reaction to a lot of things.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's either confused or yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want to say this on the behalf of my gender. If you're going to wear a blouse or a shirt, whatever, that would allow that stuff to hang out, then you have to expect that you're going to get stares. You really can't bark at someone because they're staring at your boobies. I mean, you have to expect that people are going to stare at you.
Well, who's complaining? The person that's being looked at or somebody else that didn't want to see them? I thought it was somebody else that didn't want to see them.
I think this guy was complaining who saw the boobies hanging out because he couldn't understand why a woman would wear that and get mad.
Why do we call them boobies? Boobies always sounds to me like a guy that would stick his head in a beehive and go booby. It's like such a weird word.
Only
boobies.
on Halloween, though.
Yeah. It's like.
Okay, well, I didn't know what else to call.
So just to clarify, the vent is that our person who wrote in is upset that the woman who wore the cleavage got upset and barked because somebody looked. That's
exactly correct.
Oh, the passenger. Okay.
Exactly.
The woman with the hangers is complaining that somebody else was enjoying them.
A good plane pun.
Yeah.
Hangers, Chuck. What is that?
Hang, those are boobies.
Oh, I got it.
Giant boobies. If you bend over, they hang.
I think we could also refer to them as additional carry-on.
Oh, yes. And I wonder if she was charged extra for those bags.
Oh. My God.
And do they fit in the seat, under the seat in front of her?
I want to
watch.
I would take the job of making sure of like helping with the. Sorry, miss. I just have to help you stuff that these are the confinement.
Put them in the box before you get on the plane. See if they fit. The little the carry-on bag box. Yeah, there you go. So, all right. Well, we haven't. Chris is. In
bewilderment. But I think Chris made a great point. I think she's saying, to what the venter is upset about that. Yeah, these women apparently went out of their way to choose an outfit that was going to highlight this part of their body and then, put themselves in a position, it sounds like maybe even leaned into, if you will,
Yeah.
the idea that these
Leaned
are gonna be
into.
especially presented to the plane.
Yeah.
And then when you're obviously putting on a little sideshow and then people happen to look, you can't be like, oh, what are you looking at?
If you don't want people to see, you don't put them out there. If I open my fly and I let out little Chucky and people look, whether they like it or not, I'm the one to put little Chucky out there.
So humble to say little Chucky.
I know, Chucky. Now we know.
At least do it on a hot day.
Exactly. Yeah. Chucky can't breathe.
Okay, the bell went off for the next.
All right. Hey,
next
while we're at it, do we want to bitch about all those premium snacks you get on the airlines, or do you want to move on to the next
I
event?
think let's move on. We can make that another show.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Or the free mini bottle of water. All right. Let's go.
All right. All right. Here we go. I just can't get past little Chucky. Okay.
I think a lot about that. I think of Chucky from the movie Chucky.
Oh God. I hated that movie.
Yeah. But imagine that's what's popping out, that little redheaded doll.
Oh God. All right, here we go. Moving on. It says, all right, this venter writes, I have a vent for you, ventologist. I like being called a ventologist. Makes me sound smart. Why can't they make airplane bathrooms bigger? I feel like I'm in a manhole trying to sit. And people don't sit doing their business, including myself. So you end up standing up, hitting your head against the wall from the turbulence and trying to keep your pants from touching the ground. Just take out a few rows and make the bathrooms bigger. Also, most guys want to brag about being in the Mile High Club, so make the bathrooms bigger. So we say we did it at 39,000 feet above sea level. Oh my gosh.
Did he say sea level? That's why he's not in the Mile High Club. Just to be he doesn't live in reality. There's nothing hot about, hey, you want to
they're small, they're disgusting, they're dirty, and you wouldn't have to worry about your pants hitting the floor if you don't wear pants.
How do you get from the seat, Chuck, to the bathroom without your pants on?
I'm just telling you. If you're not wearing pants, you don't have to worry about them hitting the floor. Just a thought that I have there. Yeah, but no, but they are. It's like you can't even get both hands in the sink.
Yeah.
It's just and the blue water and the flushing, and you know how many ideas I've lost in there flushing the toilet. It's so loud. Whoosh. It's like 3-4 ideas right out of your head.
Yeah, no, it'll take years off your life. You can't be ready for the sound, and it's just you feel like you're gonna get sucked out of the plane.
Yeah,
it's really disturbing. Like what
it is?
Yeah, it's instant dementia. It's like, well, why am I here? What was I thinking?
I think our venter, we always welcome any vent, and we can all understand even maybe we've all had unique vents and not everyone shares, but I got to say the idea, did he say to take out a few rows?
Yeah.
They're not going to do that.
How much room do you need?
Well, Paul, I think you're onto something. I think this guy might be overweight, and that's why he's having a problem.
I think there's an undertone to today's events. Of portliness.
I'm nowhere near overweight, and I'm cramped in there. I mean, because I'm taller, but still, it's like I don't know how. I'm really sorry, that people have to go in there and sit down because I don't even like going in there to stand up.
I get a little. I went through a period. I'm sort of over it, but I went through a period that I started to feel a little claustrophobic on planes.
Me too, totally.
And that was in the seat on just smaller planes. But what doesn't really bother me, strangely enough, is how small the bathroom is. And it occurs to me when I'm using it, if I gotta sit down, if you will, we'll talk about the real situation with this plane size could bother you. And I think I just really like the privacy that it offers, that I'm willing to take that it's a smaller room. Even though it's strangely small, you could easily, if you let your head go, oh my God, what if the door didn't open? You can
panic. Yeah.
I just like the privacy.
Yeah.
Just, cause you get 300 people, you can't leave, you're in the air. This is your little spot. I
hear you.
You know what I mean? The same way, like when you look at a dog, when they put him in that tiny little, carrier,
Carrier? Yeah.
you're like, God, the dog doesn't get claustrophobia. I think sometimes you just like having your own space and knowing, even though it's small, it's just mine.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
does it for me.
Well, if you're one of the first people to get in there when it's clean, but after like halfway through the flight and 50 people have been in there and they're dragging, you got wet toilet paper on the floor and all that stuff,
And it's sticky.
it's
Ew.
sticky, and the
Ew.
paper towels are all gone, and the airline thinks they're giving you something special. Look at this, high tech. When you lock the door, the light comes on. Woohoo! It's like, yeah, there's nothing else special about it.
Amazing.
And I've always been bothered when I'm in the plane and the light comes on and says you return to cabin. It's like, oh, they fucked something up and they need me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well,
I don't
also,
think so, Chuck.
it's like when they call, is there a doctor on board? Hey, is Chuck on this flight?
We don't need a doctor. Yeah, just get Chuck
We
Chuck
and little
Chuck.
Chucky.
and little Chuck.
We need you both up front. Chris, when you were saying that how did he get to the bathroom with his pants off? I was thinking maybe Chuck rides on that curtained off area that the rest of us don't know what really. Maybe that's first class. Might be an eyes wide shut party.
You just
They cost as much as a used Honda. There must be something good going on up there. I'd like to think, now that you mention it, maybe it's just a giant pants off party.
Yeah. It's not just warm cookies. Oh, wait, now we've gone back to the breasts hanging. Never mind.
Wow.
Now
Those
it's
with
time to wrap
cookies,
this
sir.
up.
Dunk.
All right.
All right,
Well,
Chucky. Yeah.
so did we solve anything? Of course not.
No.
The airline will never change, and they're just
And we'll
gonna
never
keep
fly
taking
again.
more
We'll never be
space.
able to buy a ticket.
There we go.
Three of
Well,
us.
don't let them know.
Before we close out the airline topics, can I just point out that I can't believe we had so many different vents on airlines and we talked about so many topics. Nobody mentioned, including the bathroom guy, when you're in that tiny bathroom, it's your best chance to notice the ashtray. Have we not all noticed that?
Yes.
Modern planes, when I first started flying, I didn't fly till I was 20 years old, about 25 years ago. And I would see occasionally, you'd see an armrest ashtray with a screw through it, holding it shut. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
this is
I've
terrifying.
never seen that.
But even on the most modern Dreamliners, the international, they have a built-in ashtray. It's got a picture of a cigarette lit. And I said to myself, why the hell would you have
In the
that?
bathroom or in the seats?
In the
In the
bathroom.
bathroom. They're prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know why it's there? I looked it up. I actually had to know why. You know why there are
Is there places in the world that you can smoke on a plane?
No, internationally, there are no one allows smoking.
No
on-
other country or anything. Okay.
No.
So
What
why
it
is
is-
it there?
The reason is because airline manufacturers have accepted there are crazy people in this world, and there are lunatics
That are going
who
to
want a
smoke
cigarette
anyway?
that they're gonna smoke. And if you're going to smoke, if you're gonna be the crazy psycho who's gonna smoke on a plane, we at least want you to put it out in a place that's safe for a lit cigarette to
Oh
be put
my
out. 'Cause
God.
otherwise, you might try to stuff it in the trash, and it creates a trash fire. Now you got a burning ember 30,000 feet in the air.
Interesting.
And
Yeah,
they're-
you'll still get a ticket, and
Yeah.
you can still get arrested. Whatever
Yeah.
they do, I think it's $2,500.
But officer, I use the ashtray.
That's what you'd go with. You'd
And
be like,
why not flush it down the blue water unless that's flammable? I don't know.
No.
Is that explosive?
that
blue
could
water?
be the most flammable substance on. It could be the jet fuel. We might
Yeah.
get into the.
Yeah, that's
Don't get close to that, Chuck. You get sucked in. I'm with Paul. I was afraid I'm going to get sucked in and I'll land somewhere in Montana.
You could lose a shirt.
Yeah.
That's just like the ideas. You lose the ideas when you flush that thing.
Yeah.
You know what? You couldn't flush down one of those Nebraska corn-fed boobies.
Oh, God. Oh,
There
Okay,
you
Chuck.
go. The corn-fed boobies. Now, this almost sounds like a snack. We'll have to call Frito-Lay.
Don't call anyone. Let's just start making them,
Oh,
Chuck.
we'll just start making them. Yeah.
Yeah. Serve them on planes.
Yeah. Forget
Chuck.
buying bugles. We're buying corn-fed boobies.
Chuck.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Was I getting carried away? All right. So
No.
should we close this thing out? Should we we're done with this? It's about time to wrap this episode up.
Yeah, because we're no longer in the friendly skies.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, we've landed, and please stay in your seat until we get out of the plane. I don't know. All right, Paul. Thanks for being with us again. This was great. And before we go, do you want to plug yourself, so to speak? Where you're
Can we do
appearing,
that
or
on-
what?
I thought this is a family show, Chuck.
No,
I
no.
didn't
You
know.
can plug yourself right here.
Really going for the ratings.
I'm leaving.
Paul Roseberry. Just, if it doesn't pop up on Google, maybe I have nothing good to say. just give it a shot. Instagram, Facebook. I'm around. YouTube if you want to see
You
some
can
good stuff.
find him. I found him, and I'm not a good spy or a detective.
You weren't even looking.
I wasn't
he's
even
cute.
looking. It was like, oh, look at that. So it was a bathroom wall I found you on. Anyway,
Oh,
so
God.
Gotta advertise somewhere.
exactly.
Referrals.
It's it's cheap
Chuck.
advertising. So all right, so we'd like our listeners to go to our Instagram account and follow us on Vent This Podcast. All one word, Vent This Podcast. And we're also now on YouTube, and we'll soon be doing, and we have done a few podcasts with video. It's all very exciting. We got a lot going on here at Vent This, so keep your ears peeled, as they say. I don't know what that really means, but keep them peeled. What
The
Chris?
number?
What? I didn't get there yet. Let me get
Oh,
there.
I'm so
There's an
sorry.
order of things. I know you have no idea what putting things
Order
in
means.
order means, but anyway. So, but don't forget. Go to our website at ventthis.org and write us a vent. Here comes Chrissy. Pay attention. I'm going to give the number. Or you can leave us a voicemail vent by calling 818-570-2535. Anybody need that number again, Chrissy?
Yes, please repeat the
All right, I
number.
don't know if I caught that.
Okay, well, here it is again. It's 818-570-2535. Please call us, and we'll play your vent on an upcoming episode. And you can leave us a voicemail vent right there. So as you go through the day today, wave at everybody you see and let me know how that goes.
Okay. Bye, everybody.